The Vikings master plan has been revealed as far as the wide receiver room is concerned, with the recent return of hometown hero Adam Thielen and how he'll fit on this roster. And Thielen himself speaks on his reunion with his favorite team, as well as his new and returning teammates. We're going to break down all that in this episode of Vikings Digest. But first, if you want to join the 12.5% of viewers that we currently have that are already subscribed, you want to help us reach our goal of 2,000 subscribers before the start of week 1, make sure to hit that subscribe button and the bell icon so you don't miss any of the updates as they drop. And with that, let's hop into the first topic of the day, which is the Thielen Plan. So Kevin O'Connell had his press conference with Kwesi Adofo-Mensah, and one of the topics that came up was Adam Thielen, of course. And when speaking on Adam Thielen's return to Minnesota, he said that it's his love of football, his love of his journey, what his journey specifically means to our organization. And I know how much he means to our fans, and I know how much he's going to mean to our football team, even beyond getting a player in such high regard like Adam is bringing back a really good football player. And obviously, Adam Thielen is a huge fan favorite, being from Minnesota, undrafted, and just worked his way up through the depth chart from special teams to wide receiver 1 until Justin Jefferson got there, and then it was wide receiver 2. Even when Diggs was there, you could make an argument of who was the 1, who was the 2, things like that. That's ultimately why Diggs left, and when he left, Thielen was number 1. Then we got Justin Jefferson, and they became one of the best tandems in the entire NFL as far as production. With the way that those guys were, it was awesome, and I can't wait to see them back on the field together for the first time in 2 seasons. It's going to be magical, and I cannot wait for it to happen. And every other Vikings fan is eagerly awaiting it, and especially Kevin O'Connell as the head coach, because he has now got a new weapon in his arsenal to utilize. And as far as talking about Thielen's fit, he was talking about the wide receiver room, saying there really is no such thing anymore as a whatever letter they're tied to, whether it be the X, the Z, the F, is almost just kind of for the chalkboard, saying I view it as a really good problem to find roles and responsibilities for that room, knowing that we're going to be able to play not only have depth for the season, but we're going to be able to navigate these first 3 weeks the right way as well. And right there where he's saying that it doesn't matter if you're the X, you're the Y, the F, the Z, does not matter, as long as you can line up in the right spot where this scheme is wanting you to. That is all that matters, because Justin Jefferson, he can play the slot, he can play outside. Thielen is more of a slot guy, but you can throw him out on the outside for just to catch teams off guard. You got Jordan Addison there, you got Jalen Naylor, and this is a Minnesota Vikings team that loves to switch around where they put players. We've seen Jefferson line up in different spots. We've seen Hawkinson line up in different spots too, even as a wideout at times, like some tight ends do, of course, in those big passing formations. But with Minnesota, we have so much versatility within our formations and our schemes that it's going to be a very wide array of different looks that we're going to see of different receivers at different positions on the field as far as where they're lining up before the snap. And it's going to lead to a lot of interesting plays, I think, as well, where you could have Thielen kind of be a decoy out on the wide one, and then you hit Jefferson right underneath, or vice versa. There's so many different options that Kevin O'Connell has now, and having Adam Thielen there as one of the veteran guys as well, one of the Minnesota Vikings legends. But you also have one of the best route runners in the entire NFL. Actually, you got 2 of them, because Justin Jefferson's route running is still pretty fantastic as well. He makes a lot of guys look ridiculous when he breaks their ankles on just crazy cuts or faking the cut inside and things like that. He is very lethal, and Adam Thielen is who he learned it from, it seems like, as well, because Thielen, his route running is insane. It's up there with Devontae Adams and some of the other ones as well. Stephon Diggs has really good route running, not as explosive as he was before that ACL injury, but he still has really good route running abilities, and that's one of the things that you almost can't teach to perfection. You can teach someone to run routes pretty good, things like that, but having those perfect mechanics, you almost have to have it instinctively, or else it's going to be very hard to get to those things. You see how a lot of receivers, they praise Devontae Adams for how he has seemingly 5 different routes that he could run off of the very first move, and you don't know which one it's going to be in the instant of a second, even less. So with Adam Thielen having that skill set in his arsenal, makes this offense even more dangerous. But what do you guys think will be Adam Thielen's fit on this team? Obviously, he's going to be wide receiver 2 for the first 3 games, and then we'll see where it goes from there. It'll put a little bit of pressure on Jalen Naylor in a contract year as well, especially knowing that Thielen probably won't be there next year. He might not have as much pressure on him, because Minnesota probably will keep him around after this year when Thielen retires. But overall, I do love how Kevin O'Connell was coming out there saying that we not only have the depth that we need for the season, but also there's these first 3 games, because that is going to be critical. And a lot of Vikings fans were hoping Minnesota would go out and get a guy like this, and they went and they did it, because Kwesi and KOC, what they say they want to deliver on, they deliver on in spades. But let us know what you guys think about Thielen's fit down in the comments below. But that's going to take us to our second topic of the day, which is the hometown kid's return. So obviously, naturally, with his return to Minnesota, Adam Thielen had to have a press conference when he got here, and just touching on rejoining the Vikings right away, saying, you guys know, without me saying how much this place means to me, the state, this city, this organization, the Wilfs, coaches, players, couldn't be more excited, and there's nothing more I can say to tell you guys how excited I am to be back home. He talked about his growth in Carolina a little bit and how it brought his family closer together, but now he's super happy to finally be back home in Minnesota, where he didn't think he'd ever be back here as far as playing. He thought if he was going to be coming back here, it would be to sign a one-day contract before retiring, which is amazing to think that he had that thought in his mind as for the future, where he's like, hey, once I get to the age where I'm retiring, I want to retire a Minnesota Viking. You love that on a surface level. We're not going to have to worry about that, because he is going to retire a Minnesota Viking, but even if we didn't have him brought back, it's nice to know that he was planning on trying to do a one-day contract if he was on the brink of retirement. But we got him for 1 year, which is even better, because now he can do stuff on the field, which is awesome to see. And talking on his role as well, he says, I really have to focus on what I can control. I can just be the best version of myself every single day. Wherever that is, I'm going to be committed to that, and I'm excited to work with these receivers and bringing in a lot of depth and a lot of experience, and knowing his role as far as not trying to be the number 1 guy. He's not even trying to be the number 2 guy, because he knows Jordan Addison has that job when he comes back. He's just trying to help this team in any way he can, in the same way that Carson Wentz was talking about being the backup quarterback, in the same way that a lot of guys in this organization talk, where it's just all about serving the team and getting a Lombardi in the Twin Cities, because that is the main goal that we are all working towards. And I think Adam Thielen, for the first 3 games, he's going to be very much more dominant than a lot of people think. He's going to be involved a lot heavily, especially with coming back to Minnesota. If you guys are looking to make any picks or predictions for week 1, I definitely would predict Adam Thielen to have at least 4 to 5 catches and probably a touchdown, because they are going to want to bring him back home in a big way. And then, as well as the other people that are going to be around him on that team, one of which being JJ McCarthy, who he trained with in the offseason for the past couple of years as well, saying there's so much respect for him for how he approaches the game, even in the summer months when you don't have to do those things. Just his work ethic, his mindset, his communication. It's cool to see that approach, especially from a young guy. And even where it's very similar, where the stuff that they were doing in the offseason with them working out was very similar to the stuff in the schemes that they were running in Minnesota. So Thielen already had that familiarity already coming back here and already knowing Kevin O'Connell's system, but it was also similar to kind of the stuff they were doing in Carolina. So it'll be a very easy adjustment for Adam Thielen to come back into this system, and for JJ McCarthy and Adam Thielen to get on the same page with their chemistry and within this system, because there's going to be a lot of nuances, and it's still JJ McCarthy's first year as a starter, so he's going to have some growing pains, but it's very helpful that the person that he's going to have those growing pains with is someone that he's trained with in the offseason, and somebody who already knows this offense and this team and is already a great locker room guy for this team and is already one of the leaders of this team without even needing to wear a C. You bring Adam Thielen back with all that he did before he left, it's like he picked up wherever he left off, and as if a day didn't go by, because everyone knows what he means to this team. A lot of guys that are still on this team were there when Thielen was there and before he left Carolina for 2 years. So now it's just a matter of picking up where he left off, and especially with a certain other teammate of him, and that is Justin Jefferson, where he says, I compare it to when you're a kid, you're around your friends all the time, you go to college, you come back and see them, and it's like you never left. Like it was yesterday. And I'm sure you guys have seen the video that was circulating on Viking social media of Justin Jefferson calling Adam Thielen when the news broke, where he was in that Color Rush white jersey, which looks amazing. Sucks that the Bills copied off of it. Ours just looks better. Sorry about it. Not sorry about it, actually. But that phone call where they were having that excitement, you can just feel the excitement going through the screen, where you know that these guys are ready to get cooking right where they left off as the most dominant wide receiver duo in the NFL. And now we have a chance to be the most dominant wide receiver trio once Jordan Addison comes back after that suspension. So it's going to be very awesome to watch this Minnesota Vikings team this season. As long as everything goes smoothly, things aren't going to go perfectly smooth. It is the NFL. It is the Minnesota Vikings. So there's going to be a lot of hiccups. We've already had a decent amount of them already, but here's to hoping that from here on out, it's as smooth sailing as it can be. And Minnesota will be riding this offense into a really good position throughout the regular season and hopefully into the playoffs. But let us know what you guys think about Adam Thielen's press conference. What were your main takeaways from it? What were the main things that you really liked that he said? Or what are some things that you're really looking forward to with Adam Thielen this year? Let us know what you guys have to say down in the comments below, and stay tuned for another video coming up. The Vikings had a very busy couple days the past little bit, and now we are just catching up on all that stuff and bringing you even more stuff before the new wave of stuff comes before week 1. We got injury updates coming up. We got a whole lot of week 1 prep coming up, and you guys won't want to miss it. So stay tuned to Vikings Digest for all the updates with that. Hit that bell icon on the notifications so you don't miss any of the updates when the second that they drop. And as always, thank you for liking and thank you for watching. I've been your host, Griffen. Take care.